Welcome! Welcome to Between the Covers, the show for readers and writers and lovers of books. I'm Stephanie Larkin, author, book publisher and developer, and head penguin of Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company that works with authors of all genres, so whether you have a manuscript all ready to go or maybe something that's just been kind of knocking around your head and your heart for the past decade, unleash your inner author and visit us at redpenguinbooks.com. A big thank you to our sponsor, Don Pablo Coffee. If you're an author or even a reader, you know that you need a really good cup of coffee so you can get to that final page. Don Pablo Coffee, where each bean is individually hand-selected, so you're always getting a fabulous cup of coffee. You are in for a huge treat tonight because we have not one, not two, but three fabulous authors who are all writing for a cause. So please welcome Joe Satriano and Lisa Strauss-Lawrence, did I say that right?
You did.
And Stephen Taibbi. Thank you so much for being with us. Well, first things first, now you are official members of the Between the Covers TV Club. And you too can join the Between the Covers Club. Just go to betweenthecoverstv.com and sign up. All of our members, well, for one thing, you get wine if you come here. So you really want to do that. You'll also be able to borrow any books from any of our authors because we have a library. You'll get free books and newsletters and all sorts of things. So if you would pass those down, I wrote your names on them. I am so official.
Yeah, yes, you are.
Now you have to read my handwriting to make sure you get the right one. So yes, it says you get wine, you get cheese, but any of you, come. When we're filming here from 7 to 8 p.m. on Wednesdays, come. We love audience. So I called it Writing for a Cause because all three of you were not just writing because, you know, you had poems in mind or something. You were writing for a higher purpose. What made you do a book? For all three of you. You know, like there's a lot of ways to honor a cause, and we're going to talk about different ways, but a book, was that like a tug? Was that I have to do a book? Lisa's nodding her head.
Sure.
Lisa had to do a book.
Yeah, I had to do a book. Number one, I wanted a support book for people who are going through the same thing. And number two, I needed to raise money. And I need to raise money for Les Garden Foundation.
That's fabulous.
So I absolutely had to do a book, and I was inspired by another book that I had contributed to. So for those reasons, absolutely.
Yes, well, I had asked you for, you know, what are you reading now or book recommendations, and this is it.
Recovering from the Loss of a Parent in 1985. And that particular book was published by the paleontologist Catherine Fair Donnelly.
Right.
And that book, after it was published, was distributed by the Funeral Directors Association to anyone who had lost a parent.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Now, is that how you came about the book? Because of the loss of a parent, and that's when you were given it?
Yes.
Okay.
So I contributed to the book.
Did you really?
I did.
Oh,
I did my stories
wow.
in there about
Oh,
my
I'm-
father having died of a massive coronary at the age of 57 on vacation
Oh, God,
in
I'm
Toronto, and that's
sorry.
35 years ago.
Oh, I am sorry.
Thank you.
That must have been
Thank
so
you.
shocking.
It was, and I was in a great support group, and that paleontologist needed people to contribute.
Right.
So
So
there it
after
was.
seeing the effect of what a
Yes.
book could
Yes.
do for the support,
Yeah.
you said, that's it.
Yes.
I got to write a book.
I did.
Well, you know, a huge shout out to Catherine Fair Donnelly, who I have never met, but obviously made a huge impact.
And
on
no
your
longer
life.
alive. But
Really?
she wrote Recovering from the Loss of a Child, too. And Recovering from the Loss of a Spouse.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
She's just,
She was amazing. She was an amazing woman.
wow. And I hope she's having a lot of coffee and wine. Because, but hey, it inspired another author too, so I'm thrilled about that.
Thank you.
Joe, did you always know it was going to be a book?
No, actually, mine was a journal.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. 4 people at my wife Sue's wake after she battled cancer for 13 years and passed away in 2005. 4 people gave me a journal and said, "Start writing, Joe. It's good for you." And I was a former high school math teacher. What do I know about words?
Numbers only.
Right. I could tell you my books' pages are numbered in order.
Oh.
They are. Yes.
I'm going to count now.
Yeah. Oh, I can count on you. So yeah, I started writing about a year after Sue died, with not the intention of making it a book. But then, don't ask me why I did this, but I took the journal to Sue's breast surgeon, who hadn't seen me in 13 years. And after doing 8 hours of surgeries at Winthrop Hospital, at 9 o'clock at night, she called me into her office. She obviously had read things that I had written because she underlined things. She wanted to go over things. Now, this lady is an incredible, wonderful lady, very staid, very much in the box. You know, I guess after you do 8 hours of breast surgeries, you know, it kind of gets to you a little bit. She got to a part in my journal where she started crying. And I said, boy, if I can affect her that way, maybe my book can affect others.
Wow.
And that's what truly when it became a book. And then everything changed.
And then, yes.
You know, then for instance, I would put Post-its on my walls in my house, always carrying a pencil. You know, and as soon as I thought of a thought of some sort, I would just find the nearest Post-it and put it down on there.
A Post-it writer.
I thought it was a great idea. My cleaning lady hated it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
She was wrong.
Yeah.
Stephen, did you know it was going to be a book? Yeah, from day one?
Yeah, from day one.
Well, for you, day one was like when you were 5. You're going to be telling us
Actually,
this.
I've been wanting to write this book for many years. I mean, back before I had my first heart transplant, I wanted to write this book. But there were certain things that I knew I had to really be honest, so I didn't write it.
Oh.
Not about me, but about others who might have been involved.
Right.
So, but then people started, you know, really getting on me. You got to write a book. You know, it was like being married 10 times. And, so I wrote the book.
So you wrote the book. Well, I am so grateful that all 3 of you wrote the book. Not just because I know that those books are out there and they're touching people and they're raising money and they're doing amazing things, but just for what it did for you. You know, that's just huge. So, so if you're watching us tonight, write the book. Absolutely write the book. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.
This sun is getting warmer, but when we soar away among the clouds, the sky is just a border, but when we're floating up like helium.
Do you have a book, either in your head or on your desk, just waiting to get out to anxious readers? Hi, I'm Stephanie Larkin, author, book developer, and head penguin at Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company specializing in books of all genres and publishing in all formats, including digital, audible, and print books. From business books to romance, memoirs to mysteries, our authors have complete control over their books from start to print. We'll help get your book to booksellers all around. Major booksellers such as Amazon, Apple, Kobo, Walmart, even libraries and bookstores around the world. We believe in our authors. So call or email today to get your free publisher's packet to get started. Just visit us at redpenguinbooks.com and get your book out there and into the hands of your readers. At Red Penguin Books, you call all the shots. So call us today and turn your dreams into a reality. Welcome back to Between the Covers. Thanks so much for joining us. Joe Satriano wrote a fabulous book, In Sickness and in Health, about his relationship, love of a lifetime with his wife, and since then has done so much more than even just write the book. You have a foundation, you have all sorts of, please.
I've amazed myself.
Oh, you amaze me constantly.
Really?
Constantly.
Wow. No,
And I'll take the money for that later.
there you go. I can't keep paying people off, but no. Yeah, after Sue passed away of a 13-year battle with breast cancer, and we were married for 29 years.
And you did all that when you were still a teenager. I mean, she passed young.
Correct. Yes. Well, she was 53 when she passed away.
Yes.
Diagnosed at 40. Yeah. It took me 6 months to kind of get my head together. If anyone wanted to find me in the past 6 months of her life, or as soon as she died, I was under my covers in fetal position, crying all
Can't
day, feeling
even.
sorry for myself. But I had this epiphany, and I said, you know what? What am I doing under these covers? I wasn't helping anyone. Sue and I were both high school math teachers, so we always helped people. By the way, you know what the best thing about being married to a math teacher is?
What?
We multiplied. Yes.
How many children?
We have 2.
See?
We multiplied twice.
Multiplied twice.
Yes, yes, and it was great, and you know our life was idyllic. It was just wonderful. And then when she died, I
So
was
2 math teachers. So if you got tired marking all those things, you could just pass them right over.
Well, yeah.
Who balanced the checkbook?
Neither of us. It was never balanced.
I mean, tax day was 2 days ago. I figure you're the type of family that was right Johnny on the spot, not online at 4:28 like I was getting the postmark.
Well, it was a very taxing day for me, I'll tell you that. So I got my head together 6 months after she died. It was like a lightning bolt hit my head, and I said, what am I doing under these covers? Nothing for anybody. And I started the foundation, the Susan Satriano Foundation.
Fabulous.
Notice the double S, kissing at a pink heart.
I love that.
When I developed that, by the way, math teacher used creative side of brain to do this. Now, that's an oxymoron, you know, because there are no creative math teachers
Oh,
in this world.
no. I think
But-
that I love the pin and I love the logo. Now, you created that?
I did. When I took the S in Satriano and flipped it on my computer screen and moved it together with the S in Susan and it formed the heart, I said, stop right there, Joe. At which point I did look up to the ceiling and I said, Sue, thank you for being named Sue. It wouldn't have worked with the heart.
Yeah, well, that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, what was her name? Was Clarice.
Or Ophelia, I was dead. Yeah. But anyway, so I knew exactly who I wanted to target with this foundation because Sue and I always saw the devastating effects it had on our own 2 boys to watch their mom's 13-year demise. So the kids have to meet 3 requirements to get the award. These are high school seniors.
Okay, high school senior.
Who are going to graduate.
Okay.
Number 2, they have to be going to a college in the fall because it is a scholarship for their higher education. The third is the kicker, which I hate asking them, but I have to. They have to have a parent who's either passed away of cancer, presently battling, or in remission. These kids never get noticed. I could tell you that from my side of the desk when I was a teacher, all you get to see are grades dropping precipitously. They're not thinking of school when
No,
there's a
of course
death or a
not.
diagnosis. So I give them their moment in the sun. They need to be recognized for what they've been through. The best part of what I do, more than the scholarship that I give, and by the way, last year I helped 255 kids with scholarships.
255 last year?
Across the nation. Yeah. And in the 13 years I've done this, I've just reached $1 million in scholarships
Good for you. Good for you. Good for you.
to over
I can't
50. Thank
$1
you.
million?
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's sad too because it indicates how many of these kids exist. You know, and the $1 million was spread over 1,500 kids across the nation. But the best
Yes,
thing
you're
to-
right. It is terrible
sad.
that 1,500 kids qualify for what you just mentioned.
Correct.
But thank God for you and the foundation.
Thank you. It's not about me, really. The
Well,
heroes,
you're the mover behind the foundation.
Thank you. The heroes in the operation are the kids. And the best thing of what I do, truly, is I go and talk to every single one of them.
Even the ones across the country?
Yeah, those I do Skype interviews. And since I know you well enough, I'll tell you that all I do is get dressed up, waist up. They don't have to know what's
They
going
don't
on
have to
below
know
the desk.
that.
Correct.
Nobody's watching this show right now, right?
Oh, so then we're fine. let me really tell you that. No. So so I've helped districts in California and Utah and Florida and Texas
$1
and
million to 1,500 students.
yeah. It started with Sue's life insurance check.
Really?
I took it back in 2006 and I divvied it up amongst 4 kids in Oceanside, my home district, and it's mushroomed into what I just told you. Wow. It's amazing.
That is amazing.
Yeah, yeah. And then I wrote the book, which even continued to amaze me.
Right.
And the best part of the book, truly, is that, by the way, I've been told it's such an easy read, I'm going to start handing crayons out with it. Yeah. But no, the best part of the book is that 100% of its proceeds goes to the foundation. And since the book's been out, the foundation's grown by over $20,000.
Well, I wouldn't say it's an easy read as much as I couldn't stop reading it.
Wow.
When you sent it to me, I didn't finish. I didn't get up until I finished because
that's
I
very
wanted
sweet.
to read the book.
Thank you. I truly wrote it as if, because I'm not a writer necessarily, but apparently I am because I have a book. But
You must be.
yeah, I guess.
I mean, your name is there
Yeah, somewhat.
somewhat.
It's J.S. Russo.
Yes. So
the-
somebody's name is on this
Yeah,
book.
yeah. Well, you know, it's my pen name, of course.
Because you're such a prolific writer, you're in the witness protection program.
You're taking my jokes. We know each other too well. No, so yeah, I actually, truth be told, my mom passed away 9 Marches ago. That's her maiden name, Russo.
Russo.
Always wanted to honor Mom. J for Joe, S for Susan. I cover all the bases.
You did. This covered everything.
Yeah, and like
And if you do bad things, it won't affect the foundation. I think it was a smart move.
yeah, they'll blame J.S. Russo.
Right,
Yeah,
exactly.
exactly, whoever he is. But I'm actually writing a second book because I didn't learn from the first one. You know, this one will take, even though it's not a book about loss, it's a book about hope and optimism and love. Sue and I had so much fun pre-cancer, during cancer. We didn't let it stop us, even though it did take her life. I'm writing a second book. This one takes you to her last breath. The next one will take you from that moment on, which, by the way, includes the hilarious dating scene at my advanced age. Hilarious. But you may like the title, Stephanie.
Okay.
Because we were both high school math teachers, and it's from that moment on.
Right.
Ready? Aftermath.
I like it, but I'm bummed.
Thank you.
I can see the cover already with all the equations and the whole thing going.
Yeah, exactly. But anyway, so yeah, since the book's been out, the foundation's grown by over $20,000. It's amazing how people are fooled by it. Yeah, because
Inspired.
right.
Inspired.
Well, usually I perspire people, not inspire them. But anyway, yeah. I have lived a blessed life having Sue in my life, and and then she continues to help children, even though she's no longer here, through the use of the foundation. And she was just an amazing woman who made me what I am in today. So whatever, for good or bad. I've been blessed.
Now, tell me a little bit about the foundation fundraisers. What can we, all of our viewers here, do?
Well, I always take donations.
Okay. And I think we had a slide up, Sue Satriano Foundation.com. Yes.
Yep. There's a little tab on the side
That's
there.
also on the website at BetweenTheCoversTV.com is the foundation link, so people can go right there.
Cool. I also run events.
Okay.
I'm going to be running a Beatle concert.
Oh, is that this
Yes, it
flyer
is.
here? Okay. I will definitely put this flyer on the website too, but what is it? October 26th, a Beatles concert?
Strawberry Fields, the best Beatle knockoff group you've ever heard or seen in this world.
Fantastic.
They dress like them, they sound like them. If you close your eyes, you're going to think you're at Ed Sullivan's Theater. Back in 1963, I think it was, when they performed. As you could see from the poster, they do dress up. They do the early Beatles stuff, then they take a little break, and then they do the Strawberry Fields stuff. Amazing guys, and they're so philanthropic. This will be the 6th concert they've done for me. We've already made over $100,000.
Fantastic.
And we need to sell out Oceanside High School Auditorium on
Okay.
October 26th.
October 26th. If you didn't get a good look at it, go to BetweenTheCoversTV.com, and there'll be a link right there. That's fantastic. So you do events, you sell the book. When do you start assigning these scholarships?
Well, I rely on the counselors of every school around the beginning of March. They call me, and they gather up the names because they know the kids. I don't.
Right.
And we make an appointment time for me to come into the schools. I ask for 20 minutes with each child. It's amazing how they. And by the way, they inspire me. Like I said before, if you're looking for heroes in the operation, all you have to do is come with me to one of these interviews. And I put interviews in quotes.
Right.
Because it's not to select one against the other.
Right.
It's just to give them a chance to talk if they want to. Last year, Baldwin High School had 23 kids. 23 high school seniors. Yeah, and I don't turn anybody down. So that's why the number was so great last year. And I don't know what it's going to be this year.
93?
Yeah, it's amazing. But, they tell me stuff that is just remarkable. And I go home pinching myself saying, did I just talk to a 35-year-old or an 18-year-old? They grow up so quickly because of what they've seen at home and how they've dealt with it. And I'll tell you this too, being a former high school math teacher, I've done a little statistical analysis. Of the 1,500 kids, about 90% of them go into give-back professions.
Really?
Yes, like PT, OT, nursing, psychology. And of course, I'll ask them the softball question that they knock out of the park at the interview. Why do you want to be a nurse? Why do you want to? And inevitably, this is what they'll tell me. I saw how these professionals helped my parent. I want to give back. I've seen this pain. I don't want anybody else to feel it. I mean, that's amazing to me. These are 18-year-old kids, right? Young adults. And they are just remarkable. How they've dealt, with it. So it's easy for me to do what I do. I'm not, yes, I'm the face of the foundation. That's all I'll give you. The kids really are the amazing ones who just, deserve to be recognized. And I do my share to try to help them through with a little bit of money and also give them that moment in the sun.
I can't thank you enough.
Oh, please.
Absolutely can't thank you enough. Check out the Sue Satriano Foundation and please give to this amazing cause. We're just going to take a break and we'll be right back.
That's right, keep it going, keep it going. That's right, keep it going, keep it going.
Are you a tie lover? You love the diversity in ties because they come in different colors, fabrics, patterns, etc. Get access to a wide variety of neckties. Buy from or trade with other tie lovers. Don't wear ties anymore? You have more ties than you know what to do with? Want to turn all those ties into real money? Do you just need a tie? You just need a tie for a special occasion. Now you can buy a tie today and sell it tomorrow. The Necktie Exchange, the online retailer where you buy, sell, and trade neckties. Register today.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. Our next guest, Lisa Strauss Lawrence, was writing about her husband and pancreatic cancer. Since then, this is something that she uses because she is a huge supporter of people and funds and the Lustgarten Foundation, and we are so grateful that she's here with us. My hunted down guest, Lisa, thank you so much for being here with us today.
Thank you for the opportunity to be here.
Oh my gosh, what a beautiful book, and everybody has to see for a moment. You have to hold the book so they can see how you coordinated your clothing.
So
This
it's
is
purple.
Yes.
Everything is purple.
Everything is purple, and that's the Lustgarten color, isn't it?
It is. It is. Pancreatic cancer is purple.
That is the purple
I'm
color.
purple
So I
today.
love that. We've got the
Yeah.
whole purple thing going on. You have a pin for them also?
I do.
There we
do.
go.
Yep. I don't know
Yes,
if
we
they can see it.
have
But
to show off all the
yeah.
pins and the purple,
Yes.
and I'll just stay all the way over here in my red. See, that's why I planned this, so you could sit between the gentlemen
Yeah,
and
clashing
not
with
clash
red.
with my red.
Crushing with my red.
So tell me about your husband and your story and how you came about with this.
So we met in Syracuse in 1975.
Go
We were
Orangemen?
together. Yeah, go Orangemen. We were together for 33 years.
Oh.
Have 2 children. And the way it worked is that I didn't even know what a pancreas was. I didn't know where it was. I didn't know anything about it.
I know it's in here somewhere,
That's
but
right.
not really
That's
much
right.
more.
And he just wasn't feeling well. And for about 4 months, he just was totally undiagnosed, which is some of the characteristics
kind
of
of-
that. You know, it's a stomach thing, or you just don't feel well, you don't feel right. And finally, they figured out that's what it was.
Right.
And it's interesting because there are certain signs, and then there's the certain markers. Well, his marker, CA 19-9, was 0. Now, the markers are usually in the thousands. And
Really?
his marker was 0 the entire time that he was sick. So it was, I learned a lot,
bet you
unfortunately.
knew a lot.
Unfortunately. And for the 15 months that he went through this, 15 months, I am one of those diggers and researchers. So not only did we go to Cancer Treatment Centers for America to do research, but we also went to the Pancreatic Cancer Day at Johns Hopkins, which is a day where they just devote to pancreatic cancer patients. And he went through all the testing again, and all the MRIs again, and the CAT scans and everything. And everybody came up with the same conclusion. Number one, inoperable, because it was in the middle. Number two, he had already had chemo, so he wasn't even eligible for certain trials.
Okay.
He would only be eligible for one trial, which was a trial number 1. Clinical trial number 1.
trial number 1.
And his decision was, I don't want to be a guinea pig, and I'd rather just live out the rest of my life.
I understand that.
And so we went through the life and the death and the process, and he died at home, which was our choice, on hospice
I
and
read
all.
that.
That was very important to us.
Yes.
And during that time, I took that time to celebrate his life. Very important. People came and we watched videos and pictures and
Oh
really
my
did a
gosh,
beautiful.
How wonderful.
And when he was
Really
lucid,
made-
we also did a book about him that I gave to my children. So it was, you know, what did you do when you were young? What did you enjoy?
Oh,
So all
nice.
his memories
Yes.
when he was, you know, cognitive enough to talk.
Right.
So we did all those
Oh
things.
my gosh.
And then we had a memorial service, and he wanted to be cremated. And so here is my dove. Dove was really important to us, and these are a few ashes from him.
And you can
And
wear
the
it
rest,
with you.
I wear it once in a while,
Oh.
but the
glad
rest
you
of the
wore it
ashes, I wore it tonight in honor of him.
Good.
And the rest of the ashes are up in Syracuse. We met at Syracuse, and there was a special place called Chittenango Falls, which was an amazing, beautiful place that we would go for all the different seasons and seeing that gorge and the
Yes,
the
yes.
waterfalls. So the rest are over there.
Oh, what
Yes,
a wonderful
yes.
tribute.
So after this happened, though I had been prepared, you're never prepared.
I mean, goodness, it sounds like you really.
was prepared.
It did sounds
Oh,
like
yeah.
right.
Very
I mean, I
much
don't know how you
planned.
could ever really be prepared,
That's
but
right.
boy, you. And when I was reading it, I was like, wow, she's doing all these.
Yes.
You sounded like you were
Yes,
prepared.
yes. And so I created a memorial website for him called the eternalportal.com, and it's in his name. And I added to that, and we do virtual flowers, we do virtual candles, just something to sort
Right,
of
right.
keep him and his
Yes,
memory
yes.
there. And then I said, I need to do something else. Who's doing research? I knew nothing about this disease. Who's helping people go through
Right,
it? I found a listserv online. And I started sending out information, messages to everybody. And I said to them, what'd you know and what'd you go through? And then I decided that I would write a book. And so I said the best way to do this is to interview families
Right.
and go through the process. And I would chart out what this outline would look like
Right.
before cancer,
Okay.
and then all the way at the end. And so that's my chapters. So I ended up with 20 families,
Wow.
which are amazing from all
and that's
over
20
the United
families
States.
who were able to.
Yes, yes, all over the United States.
Really.
And it included my son, and included someone else out in Minnesota and her daughter.
Wow.
So there were people who had lost spouses, there were people who lost parents,
Right.
there were people who lost siblings, different people. And I have all the families outlined in the book. And each family got information and questions during that time period. And it took about a year or so to get all the information collected, to get the pictures in,
Right,
and to have it
right.
exactly the way I want it to look. Self-published it and decided that it should go for 2 foundations. One was PanCan out in California, and one
Okay.
was Les Garden here. PanCan is no longer really part of what I do,
Okay.
but Les Garden is.
Les Garden
And so I've gone to, of course, the marches.
The marches
and
and
they've
right.
been amazing and
Yes.
supportive. And whenever it was sold, the money always went to them. Any royalties went to them, etc. It's still on Amazon all this time.
Fantastic.
It
Yes,
was-
I saw.
Yes,
That's
it
where
was-
I got the pictures for the website
Yes.
on Amazon.
And just to be symbolic here, I want to point out a few things. One is it was published on September 3rd, 2010. and September 3rd, 1975 is when we met, and September 3rd, 1977 is when we got engaged. And so
Oh.
September 3rd, 2010 was an important date.
Of course.
So that was
Of course.
important. And then the other thing is that cover.
Yes.
So that cover was done by a graphic designer who was the daughter of one of the people who died,
Oh, really?
her father. So it was her mother who was the contributor, but I asked the group, did you know anyone who would do a drawing? And she said her daughter was a graphic designer. And she submitted 3 to me. I said it had to be something about letting go. We were all holding on, but we need to let go. And she came up with this. And I said,
Wow.
this is it. This is
That is
exactly what I
beautiful.
need. Yeah. So the book is what I wanted it to be. And I started thinking lately about, okay, it's a family affair. Pancreatic cancer, it's a family affair.
Yes.
But you know what? Where are we now?
Right.
Just like Joe.
Yes.
So pancreatic cancer families move on is what I'm wrestling with right now.
Yes.
So out of the 20 families, the 4 survivors, I have 1 survivor still down
Wow.
in Florida, which is amazing
That's
after all these
amazing.
years.
It's been 10 years?
It's been 10 years, but she had it even before. So she was diagnosed before, so she's doing really well. Battling a few things, but still moving
Right,
on. And I found out that another one had died in 2016, and not of pancreatic cancer.
Really?
He had done very well, and he had died of something else. And the 2 others we lost. One in Huntington, by the way, and the other one in another state.
Right, right.
So I've contacted the families, and I'm trying to find out whether we want to do a second book.
Right.
Number one, I'd really like people to see that we move on, that our lives go
Yes,
on. And
absolutely.
in fact, my husband told me.
And that's
bef-
such a hopeful message.
It
for
is a
people.
hopeful message. He told me before he died, promise me you won't be alone the rest of your life. And that's what he said to me. And, you know, and I have. And I think it's a struggle, obviously, the
course.
first few years
Of
and all.
course.
It's a huge, when you're together for so many years, you're
That's
a couple.
your whole life. You were,
Absolutely.
you know, teen romance.
Absolutely.
Of course.
Absolutely. And so much of life has happened now. And I want people to see that there are many things that happen in your life. And of course, it's not going to be the same. and
No,
it's not,
no,
you
no,
know,
but you're not trying to be the
That's
same.
right. That's right.
But life does go on.
It does go on.
And that's a huge message.
It is.
That you come through. You know, I think that when you look at a book like this, you yourself and your families can read this and say, oh my gosh, that was me.
Yes.
But I'm here.
Yes.
I'm here and I go on, and I think it's a fabulous idea. You know, I'm not necessarily surprised that if you had 20 families before, that not all of them want to participate. But for those that do, half are on the page of, yeah, my life goes on.
Yeah.
And that's a huge, huge message. That's a huge message that Joe has. To say, you know, this was the darkest hour.
Yes.
And now we're sitting here and putting it towards a higher good.
Yes.
That's just amazing.
Did you read the back of the book? There is a beautiful, and I have it on the website, on his website, Memorial website, on the back of the book, the rabbi who wrote that.
Yes.
That is a beautiful thing
Yes,
for all of us to
absolutely.
think
I'm gonna read
about.
that out
Yeah, go
loud
ahead,
if you don't
please.
mind.
Please do that.
At the rising of the sun and its setting, we will remember you. At the blowing of the wind and the chill of the winter, we will remember you. At the opening of the buds and the rebirth of spring, we will remember you. At the blueness of the skies and in the warmth of the summer, we will remember you. At the rustling of the leaves and the beauty of autumn, we will remember you. At the beginning of the year and when it ends, we will remember you. For as long as we live, because you were a part of us, we will remember you. Rabbi Sylvan Kamens.
Thank you.
That was beautiful.
Yes.
Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
We'll be right back. Thank you. Thank you.
Everybody get up when you're feeling down. Everybody get up, turn your life around.
When you trust yourself, you have the power to make up your life. Studio 1031 is an environment where excellence is always expected. We work with all types of people from all walks of life. We give deserving women something that they wouldn't give themselves.
Everybody get up.
Come join this makeup movement. When you're feeling down, turn your life around. make up your life.
I know it's gonna be alright.
Do you have a book, either in your head or on your desk, just waiting to get out to anxious readers? Hi, I'm Stephanie Larkin, author, book developer, and head penguin at Red Penguin Books. We're a publishing company specializing in books of all genres and publishing in all formats, including digital, audible, and print books. From business books to romance, memoirs to mysteries, our authors have complete control over their books from start to print. We'll help get your book to booksellers all around. Major booksellers such as Amazon, Apple, Kobo, Walmart, even libraries and bookstores around the world. We believe in our authors. So call or email today to get your free publisher's packet to get started. Just visit us at redpenguinbooks.com and get your book out there and into the hands of your readers. At Red Penguin Books, you call all the shots. So call us today and turn your dreams into a reality. Welcome back to Between the Covers. Wow, we have heard from so much tonight. I'm just beyond the beyond. Our next guest, Stephen Taibbi, is not someone who is writing about a loss that he suffered when he lost someone. He's lost parts of himself. So please welcome Stephen Taibbi. Stephen, thank you so much for coming. Your story is just amazing from the moment you were born. And I just, you know that I thank God every day that you're here. And when you were a little bit late getting to the show, I was like, you're okay, right? You're okay, right? But literally from the moment you were born, faced with unbelievable difficulties. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Well, I would recommend you read the book.
I mean, yes. Buy the book. It's on Amazon.
Buy the book
it's
on
on
Amazon.
every
But
place.
no, I mean, I had
Okay, but you'll give us a little bit of
I had my first 3 operations
spoiler.
the day I was born. I had
Yeah, most of us spend the day we're born just kind of lying there crying, but
Right.
no, you were in surgery.
I was crying a
3
lot.
I bet you were 3 operations.
Then when I was 5, I had an open heart surgery for what they call ASD repair, which is, everybody knows that as a hole in the heart. And back when I was a kid, the survival rate was 50%. And then the next year, because they found I had another hole in my heart, I had the second operation, my second open heart, when I was 6. And that was, at that point, the survival rate was 0. I was the first one to live through 2.
And with all due respect, these open heart surgeries weren't last week. I mean, medicine.
58 and 59.
Yeah.
It was way different. It was way different.
So you actually went into an operation at 6 years old. Did you know that the survival rate was 0?
I didn't know the survival rate was 0, but I knew I was in a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
And then, you know, my parents were told I wouldn't get past 10. Then I was told I wouldn't get out of my teens. I had and this was before Kubler-Ross wrote her book. I had no idea, but I had an out-of-body experience on my 17th birthday. Then they told me, no, you're not going to get through your 20s. And then I got through my 20s, and then my doctor said, I don't know what you did, but you're cured. You did it. You're fine. And you know, I had a business by then, and you know, I got married late because I was smart.
I'm going to throw this at you now.
My wife, I am so lucky. I mean,
I know your wife,
waited
and
for the
she's
right-
lovely.
I
and she
made it
puts
for the
up with
right-
a lot.
Yeah, she seems nice. No, I waited. I waited. I was married when I was 35, I think.
I think.
But it was worth the wait, and it was, you know, Rose
She
is
was
wonderful.
absolutely worth the
Yeah,
wait.
she is wonderful. And then, you know, we're married for a while. I changed careers, and next thing you know, I'm gaining weight. I was always thin. I'm gaining weight, and I can't move. And one day, I'm walking with a friend of mine, and I live in a very hilly area, and I almost collapsed. And they found out then that I was in end-stage heart failure, and I had actually contracted a virus.
Really?
I lost my natural heart, which had gotten cured because I contracted a virus.
After all of that.
After all of that, because I really think
You had
that
a
God is
virus.
trying to make the point that he's a jokester. And you know what? You know that famous quote of, you know, God's a comedian and playing to an audience that's too scared to laugh. Except I get his jokes; they're hysterical. But you know, I'm like sometimes, and I think God's up there with a big medical book going like this. Oh, he hasn't done this one yet. So
A virus. After two
A
open heart
virus.
surgeries, a virus.
a virus. So
And
then,
a transplant.
Then I needed a transplant.
Right.
That lasted about. That heart lasted 15 years, almost to the day. I got that heart on the 27th of March, and I got my new heart on the 9th of March. So it didn't quite make it, but it got me through, you know. And I had my last heart transplant 3 years ago. After 4 years ago, I had a massive heart attack due to rejection. But the book I wrote because since I was a child, I was using strategies to survive.
Right.
Even when I wasn't as cognizant of things as I am now. But every time something hits me, I come up with strategies and decisions and just an idea that I'm gonna beat this.
Right.
And I know that I may not, but the idea is I'm at least going to go down swinging.
Right.
And the book is really for people who have profound illnesses, not just the heart,
Right.
who have any kind of profound illness. That, you know, strategies that they can use to get through. I use it through my story. My story is an analogy, but all through my story is the strategies I used, how I am in hospitals, what I do, how I treat doctors and nurses, and things that you would be surprised people don't do. And I want them to
Even
do
you
that.
mentioned to me about the clothing that you wear in a hospital.
Oh yeah.
And how that affects.
I had a doctor tell me that he actually wanted to do a study on what I was doing because he'd noticed that people who did what I did, which was I wear street clothing in a hospital. I will not wear a gown, there's sometimes when you absolutely have to. But if I'm going to be in the hospital for a while, and I've had long hospital stays, I'm going to be in like sweatpants and a shirt with a pocket.
Right.
You know, and this way, if they have to have a monitor on me, instead of hanging it around my neck, I put it in the pocket. And if they want to, you know, check me out, they just open my shirt with, you know,
Right.
button-down shirt. And one doctor was saying, you know, I believe that patients who wear street clothes get treated differently than people who wear gowns, because we see you in street clothes and suddenly
look like
you're
a
different.
person.
You're a person,
Not
right?
a patient. You look for a
And
person.
I'd been doing that for years. I've been doing that since I was 16. So, you know.
I think it also does a lot for your own
Oh,
self
yes.
when you're there.
Absolutely, because you're already telling, because in a way you're saying, I'm not that guy.
not staying.
I'm a different guy.
Right.
Treat me differently, you know, and just for the audience, and I cannot believe how many people do the opposite of this. But if you're going to be in the hospital for any length of time, short time, long time, doesn't matter, make sure that you're the patient the doctors want to visit. Not the one that they dread to visit. We were in the hospital. We saw a woman who was so angry at the doctors that they had to have 3 security guards come in.
Right.
Now, how is that going to help her? What is that going to do for her in the future? First of all, it's like yelling at a cop, right? It's you know, hey, he's got a gun and a pen. What are you doing? You know, but nurses and doctors, they have things that they can stick you with and not be gentle with you with, and you know, and maybe not care about you,
Right.
because you've made it so, you know, you're nasty to them. So whoever comes into your room, you thank them profusely every time. I mean, I get it so that the janitors, you know, housekeeping, I think it's called. They want to come into my room, and I'll say to them, thank you for what you're doing. I know you're helping keeping me alive because you're keeping my room clean and keeping it clear from germs that could hurt me. And I want you to know how important I think your job is and how nice I think you are.
Bobby, is that a caller coming in? Oh, do you mind? We have a caller coming in.
Hello.
Welcome to Between the Covers.
Thank you. Hi, this is Judy from Rockville Center. Question for Joe.
Hey.
How do you raise money for that foundation?
Oh, wow.
Joe, it's Judy. She wants to know how you're raising money. Thank you, Judy, for calling.
Thank you, Judy. Yeah, well, I run events. I sell books. I sell T-shirts. I sell pins. I'll be on the corner of. No, I'm only kidding.
Well, somehow he's raised $1 million to give to 1,500 kids. So
Yeah, well, donations
Wow.
are great. You know,
Wow.
so yeah. Judy, have you come to any of my concerts?
I have actually. They're fabulous. I think
Wow.
you're
You have a fan.
very well connected with some wonderful people that make the event most successful.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Well, Judy, I know there's an event coming up in October, and
Yes.
anything else will be posted at
At www.susansatrianofoundation.com.
SusanSatrianoFoundation.com.
Wow.
Judy, thank you so much for being a supporter. That's huge.
My pleasure, and I look forward to the next fundraiser.
Judy, if you want to sign up for my mailing list, I don't know, Joe, do you have a mailing list at the Susan Satriano Foundation?
I do.
Good. There's a mailing list there. That's even better. I was going to say to sign up for mine because I'm going to just ask Joe to send me stuff. But if you go to
Okay.
SusanSatrianoFoundation.com, there's a mailing list, and this way you'll be right on the list. And that goes for all of our viewers. Get on that list so you can
Wonderful.
get information about
Wonderful.
the events.
Okay.
Thank you so much for calling.
Thanks, Judy.
Well, you're very welcome. All right, and bye.
Bye-bye.
Sorry.
That's, hey,
That's great.
we're not sorry if we're
No.
getting some message out
That's
there.
wonderful.
Absolutely. So, tell us about what the title, Grateful Guilt. What does that mean?
That's because when you're a recipient of an organ, and if you're a normal person,
We have another
I have
caller?
another caller.
Oh my gosh. Welcome to Between the Covers. Thanks for calling. Hello?
What was your question?
Hi, caller. Welcome to Between the Covers.
Hi, how are you?
Thanks so much for calling.
You're very welcome.
Is there anything I can help you with?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question.
Sure. What can I help you with?
I want, am I on yet?
You
Or-
are. You are on the air.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm sorry. I was watching and I turned down the volume because I didn't know if that would affect.
No,
So I
no,
wanna
I'm
commend
glad you
all of
called.
you.
What is your question?
Yes.
And we've got hopefully somebody here who can answer it.
Okay. I want to commend all your guests because they're amazing people who want to help and tell stories. So I thank them all.
Oh.
My question is for Mr. Satriano. I read your book, and it's quite amazing. It is an easy read. I laughed, I cried, and I am looking forward to your next book. I do have two questions. Can you give us any tidbits about what you might see in the next book? And my second question is seeing and talking to all these kids that have had difficulties in their life, how does that affect you? And how do you deal with having all of these people, these tough stories that you have to deal with?
Okay, so the first question was, what do you see going into the second book?
Well,
Yeah, some tidbits about what he thinks would be in it,
Okay.
and really how do you deal with
And then how do you
all of
feel
the,
when you speak with these students?
with all of the tough stories that he has to
Excellent
deal with.
questions.
And
Thank
amazing.
you. Joe?
yeah, well, I'll take the second one first.
Okay, second one first. You're allowed.
It actually is very inspiring to talk to these kids because they have dealt with a situation that you wish no one ever had to face.
Of course. Gosh.
And they faced it in their young lives. And the fact is that they have moved forward. They never forget. And they actually, as I said before in my little segment, was that they inspire me by how they've dealt with it, how they're going to move on, how they're going to give back in this world
Right.
by what they want to do. So to me, that's the best part of what I do, more than the money I give out.
Right,
The
right.
fact that I get to learn about my heroes, those kids.
That's nice.
Yeah. The first question was.
It was, what's going to be in the second book?
Oh well, that I think actually.
Boy, everyone's trying to push for second books. The second book from Lisa.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Well, we have messages that are very important. To get out
Absolutely,
there.
they are.
I-
And we want a second book from Stephen just to make sure that he stays alive here with us.
I would say, well, I know for a fact that the first book has helped a number of people, only because I get emails
Right.
and phone calls from people who have read it. I think my second book is actually going to help people more than the first book, and I'll tell you why. It's very rare that you get a guy who spits out his guts about losing a spouse, and
That's true.
and then how they dealt with it. You know, my kids and I, how we started from this abyss, and I mean really way down low, to where we are today. And I don't suggest that people do it the way I did it, but I explain my journey and how it got me to where I am today. Definitely the foundation has helped tremendously, but I also listened to Sue a lot when she told me what to do after she died.
Right.
So, you know, having a celebration for her 30 days after she died. You know, things like that. It was just, it will, I believe it will bolster people who are
think
down
you're
and
right.
out.
Hope, like we were talking
Yes.
about.
Me too.
It's a message
Yeah.
of hope
Yes.
that there is life.
Yes.
Yeah,
And that's a
exactly.
fabulous, fabulous message. Thank you. Thanks for calling. We're going to take a quick break, and
Thank
then you're
you
going to get
very
back to telling us about guilt.
Me llaman Dan Pablo y hace más de 20 años me enamoré de una colombiana. Viajé a su país y conocí un estilo de café muy distinto, muy especial. Ahora tostamos cafés excelentes, con alturas y microclimas diferentes, resultado en una taza muy compleja y muy rica. Un sabor nuevo en el mundo. Fue un éxito. And I even got to keep the girl.
Inspired by aerobic classes and a dream, Body by Tamika has helped hundreds of women reach their fitness goals. One size doesn't fit all, and neither should your fitness experience. Body by Tamika is about creating an environment where women can come together to work out, meet new friends, and get inspired. Whether you desire to lose weight, tone up, or prepare for a mommy makeover, Body by Tamika is here to help. Body by Tamika is considerate to female weight loss challenges resulting from pregnancy and or life changes that can be extremely resistant to diet and exercise. For stubborn problem areas, Body by Tamika offers non-invasive aesthetic procedures such as laser lipo and wood slimming body contouring. Book your free consultation today to see for yourself.
Are you a tie lover? You love the diversity in ties because they come in different colors, fabrics, patterns, etc. Get access to a wide variety of neckties. Buy from or trade with other tie lovers. Don't wear ties anymore? You have more ties than you know what to do with? Want to turn all those ties into real money? Do you just need a tie? You just need a tie for a special occasion. Now you can buy a tie today and sell it tomorrow. The Necktie Exchange, the online retailer where you buy, sell, and trade neckties. Register today.
Welcome back to Between the Covers. Thank you for joining us. We were here with author Stephen Taibbi. Stephen, why were you, when you wrote the book, what are you hoping to accomplish? Were you hoping to touch? What are you hoping we'll do?
Well, you said first I want to get back to Grateful Guilt.
Yes.
Because it's an important point.
It is.
People who receive organs, especially people who receive organs where the other person can't be still alive.
Right.
You know,
Like a heart.
liver and kidneys, you can still, you can be a live donor. But when you get a heart, you get lungs, you get some other organs. you know that the person has passed.
Yes.
And you get guilty about it.
Sure.
You're incredibly grateful, but you're feeling guilty, and you know, you think, you know, and everybody will tell you that person didn't die for you, that person was going to die anyway, but that's all blah blah blah.
Yeah.
Because in real life you're just feeling guilty, and I had severe survivor's guilt for the first 7 or 8 years.
I can't even imagine the guilt of feeling that, you know. And you're right, that person was going to die anyway, but he's beating inside your heart.
Yes. Yeah, his heart is beating inside
Well,
me.
yes.
My heart's gone. My heart's in a jar at home.
You have your heart in a jar at home?
Mm-hmm.
And this is why I'm not going to your house anytime soon.
Yeah, but I'm going to tell you something. I don't care who you are, what guy you are. Valentine's Day, you can't beat me.
Well, this is true. You got a real heart.
I actually gave my wife my heart.
Oh my God!
Top that.
And this is why I'm glad we're not married, Stephen. So, what would you like people to do when they read? Become organ donors?
I think everybody should be an organ donor, and the shame of it is, and I mean the shame, New York State is the last state out of 50 states for donation.
Are we really the
We're-
last?
We are the last.
Okay, do you hear that, viewers?
That is pitiful.
That is pitiful.
It's shameful.
Absolutely. And not only to become an organ donor, but please tell the people closest to you so that they...
Right. Whether you want to be a donor or not, make the decision, do something about it. Whether it means to sign up to be a donor,
Right.
then tell your family, or if you're not going to sign up, and then tell your family, so that, God forbid, something happens to you, and your family is asked that question.
They know what the
and
answer
they don't
is.
have to struggle to figure out what the answer was.
That is so
Save
hugely
them that
important.
pain.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. I know you can get Stephen's book at gratefulguilt.com. I know all of our authors' books are available on Amazon. And if you forget anything we said tonight, you can go to betweenthecoverstv.com. There are links to all of their foundations, all of their events that are coming up. Buy the book. We are so inspired by these authors, so please take what they've done here and embrace it. And if you're going through a hard time in your life, I think we've learned that writing is really, really cathartic. Thank you so much for joining us on Between the Covers TV.
Wow.